Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to do a video that I was requested to do from a lot of the guys that watch my channel, and that's to compare the Vortex Venom 5-25x56 against the Arken SH4 Gen 2 6-24x50. Is it a fair comparison? We'll see in just a second.
Let's get ready to rumble!
What I'd like to do right now is show you both of these scopes up close. I'm going to show you how they performed or didn't perform at the range. And then at the end of the video, that's when I'll give you my personal thoughts. Stick around for that if you're interested. We're going to compare them head to head. We'll look at the turrets. We'll look at the adjustments, what each one has in the way of features. And then at the end, I'll be right back with some final thoughts that I think you guys will enjoy, or I hope you do. All right, here we go. All right, we'll start out by just looking at the specs on these things. Now pay attention to one thing. The length on the Vortex is actually longer than the Arken, but the Arken is actually heavier, even though the Vortex has a larger objective. Both of them have a 34mm tube, and a lot of what you'll notice in the weight difference is the way they're built inside. Neither of these scopes have lock-in turrets, which is not unusual at all for precision scopes. The Vortex focuses closer. The trade-off is, with the closer focus, you also have a much more limited field of view. Now, when it comes to internal adjustment, it's easier to visualize certain things than it is over the other. The Arken has quite a bit more. So basically, at 800 yards, the difference would be a mule with 3 midgets stacked on top of it, with a crack hose stacked on top of that. That's how much more internal adjustment you get with the Arken. I just wanted to use a scale that was easy for guys to visualize. Now, both these scopes are first focal plane. They both have precision reticles that have reference points as you go down the reticle, which is really nice. The Arken has illumination. The Vortex does not. It's not that big a deal. Here's a quick look at what the illumination looks like on the Arken. And by the way, it's not middle of the day bright. Now the Vortex includes a throw lever. Here's a quick look at it. And something else that I think is probably super important to guys. Both of them have a full lifetime warranty and the price. The Vortex is $50 more, but we're basically talking about scopes that are competing for the same customer. All right, here's a look at both of them up close. I'm going to go through some of the features of each of these scopes and try to compare them back to back the very best I can. Now both of them come with a sunshade. There's a look at the one Vortex. They also both come with these rubber bikini strap covers that honestly I prefer over other type of scope caps. There's a look at the one from the Arken. Now there's the Vortex Zero Stop. I can't tell if it's metal or plastic. It feels like plastic to me, but I could be wrong. Both of these scopes have very smooth, quick focus eye ring. Both of them on the magnification are also very, very smooth. One was a little stiffer than the other, but on that kind of thing, they loosen up over time. So we really couldn't prefer one over the other. And there are guys that prefer a stiffer magnification ring and a stiffer eyepiece focus. Both of them have side focus. As I said before, the Vortex goes down to 15 yards. The Arken goes down to 25. There's another look at the illumination that the Arken features that the Vortex doesn't. For some guys, that's a huge deal. For other guys, it's really not. Now, here's the check on the turrets. As you can hear, very, very crisp. This is the Arken right here. Here comes the Vortex. Sorry about the focus right here. But you can still hear just how crisp they are also. They sound and feel slightly different, but both of the turrets at their price range are super nice. All right, now here's a quick look at what's going on underneath the turrets of the Vortex. It's got this little toolless cap that you can take off where you can reset the turrets, reset to zero. And when you pull it off, your zero stop goes there. Now the Vortex is a little dirty inside. I don't know what that's all about. And it's a little more plasticky looking. You'll see in just a minute what I'm talking about. That little pin that I highlighted, that's where the zero stop. You turn it clockwise until it stops, and there's a pin inside the zero stop, and then match up. Now once you do, you put your turret back on, put the cap back on. Now the zero stop on the Vortex doesn't stop right on zero. It goes just past it. It's a little bit spongy when it goes past it, and it goes about 4 clicks. You can see right there it's kind of got a little give to it. The Vortex turrets are not as tight, not as precise as the Arken, and I really don't like the way that looks inside of it. Some guys are never going to pop the turrets off, so maybe they're not going to see it. Now here's a look at the Arken. The Arken has a true drop down
zero stop. You don't have to remove the turrets. Now, you can also re-zero the turrets, but on the inside of it, that's where the biggest difference is to me. Look at the way this thing looks, fit finish. It's metal instead of plastic. It's just a lot better build quality than the Vortex. The zero stop on the Arken also stops directly on zero. And on both of these scopes, you don't have to use the zero stop if you don't want to. On the Arken, you just raise the zero stop back up. On the Vortex, you just remove it. All right, off to the range. We're going to check all this stuff at 100 yards, put them back to back, and let you see the difference in these scopes when you look through them. There's the Arken. There's a look at the Vortex getting all mounted up. Let's start out by looking at the image quality and the field of view. You see the field of view on the Vortex. Look at the target. The size never changes. The Arken is a lot wider field of view. Now, chromatic apparition is where the images don't line up, so it gives you a really distorted kind of a purple fringing and nothing looks as crisp. The one that's snapping into focus is the Arken. The one that's not is the Vortex. This is showing it on the edge of the field, and you can see the huge difference. See the distortions on the edge of it? It kind of has a funhouse mirror look. The Arken is flat. It's a real flat, crisp image. Now, I had a few guys accuse me of purposely sabotaging the Vortex Venom image here. That's not true. It just wouldn't focus like the Arken would, the reticle or the image downrange. Now, here's a look at a static video comparison. I'm not moving anything. I'm just setting it up, getting the best image I could possibly get out of each of these scopes. Look at the difference when it jumps to the Arken. And something you're really going to enjoy, or I think you'll enjoy, it tickled the shit out of me, but check this out. This image right here was actually done just with my phone. I didn't use my camera or anything else. I just filmed through the back of the phone. That'll show you the difference in it. Again, both of them track perfect. Absolutely perfect. I have nothing but high praise for the Vortex as far as the way it tracked, the way it repeated. It came back to zero on the vertical tracking, the horizontal tracking, and everything else. Now on the vertical tracking here on the Arken, you can see just how much more internal adjustment you get. It looked like it's about to point at the front of the bench that I'm setting at. The image quality, it's not even close. It just isn't. And I know there's Vortex guys that are going to be irritated about this review, but the camera doesn't lie. I don't do anything in post to alter or enhance the image on any video that I do. That way guys can look at them back to back and get a good idea of what they actually look like. Now all of this was filmed in the exact same day, exact same lighting conditions. As soon as I got through with the Vortex, I put the Arken on and I went to do it as fast as I could. There's a look at the nipple twister test that I did on the Arken. You'll see a full review coming up here pretty quick of the new 4-16. The Vortex, I did the exact same thing. It came right back just like the Arken did. Like I say, when it comes to performance, as far as how it worked mechanically, it was fine. It's the Vortex image. It easily could be the worst $500 scope I've ever seen. Pictures don't lie. There's the winner, without a doubt. Only one more award to give. And it's the award not only did last year's Strike Eagle win, but the Venom wins this year.
And this year's Golden Turd goes to the Vortex Venom.
All right, guys, now after seeing all that, if you can't decide between these two scopes, maybe you need to re-watch this video. Stick around for my personal thoughts for right now. For the guys that are ready to leave, I appreciate you hanging in there this far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share my channel with your buddies, especially the Vortex fans. I think they'll enjoy this video, and even if they don't, they probably need to see it. Thanks, guys. All right, now for the guys that were nice enough to stick around, I want to say a few words about Vortex. I am not a Vortex hater. I seriously wish they would do better than what they're doing. They employ so many people. They have such a huge network when it comes to optics. The thing that Vortex has going for them is when you buy Vortex from a gun shop, you buy it online, wherever you get this Vortex, and there's a problem, you send it directly back to Vortex so the dealers don't have to fool with them anymore. That's the reason you see them everywhere. That and the margins are huge. To be frank about this particular scope comparison, the optics in the Venom, I would put right there with about $100 to $125 center point. And I'm not exaggerating, I'm not slamming on Vortex. You saw it for yourself. just like I did when I filmed it. I just couldn't believe how bad the optics are. Now, there may be some Vortex fanboys out there that say, send it back, send it back. Screw that shit. I spent $500 on this damn scope. I didn't buy $500 for something that I have to keep sending back over and over and over and over. The thing with the Vortex, especially with a scope in this price range, you have to pick your poison. Do we want it to look right? Do we want the turrets to feel right? Which they did. I will give them credit on that. But to come in at $500 retail, you've got to cut some corners somewhere. Vortex cut all the corners on the optics. It's obvious in this video. Now, if you don't mind looking through a scope that looks like this all the time, man, go get that Venom. But if you want something that actually looks right, something that works right, something that won't give you a freaking migraine headache from looking through all day long, there's better choices out there. Guys, I'm an affiliate for Arken. I put this up against the Arken because guys that have bought them realize they're probably the best precision rifle scope out there for under $500. Below, you'll see links to my affiliate link. If you want to use it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But please, please do some research, because if you're in the $500 scope market and you're looking for some precision, look somewhere else besides this Vortex Venom. I can't tell you how let down I am about this scope. I've had a Vortex Diamondback. This thing is no better than the Diamondback, maybe not as good. Not trying to be rude, not trying to be harsh, just trying to be real. Because the guys that watch my channel know that I'm sponsor free, and I don't want to see guys piss off their money. Nothing hurts worse than that. See you guys.